Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. Brooks Entwistle, Vice President of Ripple, is going to talk about what's going on with central banks. Not 10, not 20, but a whole bunch more. And guess what else? Susan Friedman, head of Ripple policy. Are they meeting with Brad Garlinghouse at the Capitol in the United States? Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter for exclusive content. Right now, $1.13 trillion market cap for crypto. It is up 1.2%. Good afternoon, everybody. Bitcoin now 23,700 plus. Ethereum 1658 and 58 cents. We see Tether market cap is $70.9 billion. But how does the Department of Justice and the Treasury feel about it? I think we'll find out soon enough. 38 cents for XRP. We're up 1.2% in a 24-hour. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my, oh my, oh my. Are we going to announce somebody later today that you're going to want to see and be in a room with? I can guarantee you that. And right now, I can tell you with 65 days left, people are telling me flights can be an issue. You better not mess around. Tickets will sell out here. It is a limited seating event. And just to show you, you can get a ticket for Friday's VIP event, or you can get a ticket for Saturday, the XRP Army Conference at XRP Las Vegas 2023. Jeremy Hogan from Legal Briefs is going to join us virtually. And we're going to have the Uphold Chief Revenue Officer, Nancy Beaton, will be with us. Otto Nino from Sologenic Chief Product Officer. And there is more. Eleanor Tarrant and John Deaton. And you better watch out for what's coming later today, ladies and gentlemen. Quincy Jones is going to be there. Jay Cambo from Spend a Bits, and so many more. Let me tell you, do not mess around. I'm telling you, this thing is going to sell out. I can guarantee you that much. You can see the proposed agenda right here if you click the conference guide and go over that as well. But get your ticket because time is running out. That much I can guarantee you. Let's take a look at what John Deaton is saying here. He has tapped Grayscale to win its case against the United States Securities Exchange Commission, and I hope he's got that right, I tell you. The lawyer expressed this in a tweet today, asserting that the regulator tends to lose, and let's just take a look at that comment, because I just love the way he says it. He says the regulator tends to lose when faced with resistance, citing facts shared by Ripple General Counsel Stuart Alderoty. Recalling that tweet, we know that he had told us, Stuart Alderoty said, that the SEC has lost. The SEC has lost 4 out of 5 of its last cases that have made it to the Supreme Court. How about that one? And this is a reminder right here from Stuart Alderoty, public service announcement. Chair Gensler has again proclaimed that every cryptocurrency except Bitcoin is an unregistered security. He must now recuse himself from voting on any enforcement case that raises that issue since he has prejudged the outcome. And then the case is cited and shared here by none other than Jim Filan. Boy, I tell you what, this is really heating up. And I tell you, I don't think you can really overstate how important this point is that Stuart Alderoty's making here. Chair Gensler has absolutely proclaimed that Bitcoin is the only one that's a cryptocurrency and everything else is an unregistered security. How can he do this? How can he claim this? I tell you, the plot thickens, ladies and gentlemen, and boy, have we got something for you to see before you get out of here today. The Deputy Governor of the Bank of England believes a digital pound could rescue citizens during a bank run. Oh, really? Well, I tell you, this really begs more questions than answers now, doesn't it? You know, to push people into digital money out of fear, because that's what this is based on right here, makes you wonder, does the UK know something that we don't? Does the Bank of England know something that we don't? I tell you, you know, I do believe as we see the introduction of central bank digital currencies, you're going to see a move to commodities to back and support that movement to a central bank digital currency. That's me, myself, but we'll see. The creation of the United States dollar would crowd out cryptocurrency ecosystem and protect the national security of the U.S., according to a former top advisor in President Joe Biden's administration. Well, this is what we know. Dilip Singh said this, former economic and national security advisor. But, you know, here's the thing here, and I want to bring up what Molly Elmore has said. If you're not following Molly, you should be. Stable coins are a key part of the turf war. The downside for crypto is that CBDCs will work to crowd out private cryptocurrencies, especially stable coins focused on retail payment areas. And, you know, I lean in on this. I think Molly's got this spot on because that's the real threat here. And, you know, what's the sales pitch going to be from the central bank digital currency side of this? What's more trusted than a CBDC? Right? What, some private version thereof? That's the selling point. However, I happen to feel if you take something like USDC, for example, highly compliant, right? Highly regulated, and understand that it is a private company running that, I like having the separation of church and state, if you'll let me say it that way, between the federal government and a private sector company and a retail consumer citizen using a digital dollar for which the government has no business knowing what you're doing with it unless there's suspicious activity, as if you were speeding or swerving on a highway, right? I don't see any other way to really bridge this gap unless you just go full China, right? Communist China and controlling the people, controlling the money. And I tell you, that is a scary notion at my house. Brooks Entwistle here, laying it down for all of us. Give Michael Branch a follow for this one. So we are in dialogue with not 10, not 20, but a bunch more central banks around the world on these discussions. Well, do tell, Brooks. He said it's always great to catch up with forecast news and dynamic, Angie. And it says here, discussing Ripple's outlook on the crypto industry. Despite some serious turbulence, the opportunity for real-world use cases remains strong. And to speak to that, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen the video from this morning, you're going to want to go watch that. There is a challenge, a CBDC innovation challenge, and I tell you, there are many different projects cited, and I think it's very revealing that they are starting to push and move to not only the wholesale market infrastructure built back in that Ripple's focused so laser-like focused on, but now they're starting to work on these projects that are more consumer retail facing, and I think that says a lot about what is going to come. I really do. But looking at this very quickly here, this is the article from Bitcoinist.com here, and shout out to them. And I just retweeted it and just copied and retweeted the article so you could have it here. It says right here, this is what he says. I mean, this is remarkable to me. It says, Ripple talked about the company's efforts and goals with central bank digital currencies. The executive explained the interaction with regulators around the world is invaluable, unlike the U.S. regulators in Singapore and in Tokyo, and in Switzerland and the U.K. Welcome dialogue, participate in a roundtable discussion. Remember UK, that's going to come very important in just 1 second. Ripple in dialogue with more than 20 central banks, as Bitcoinist reported here. CBDCs are a key focus for Ripple in 2023. Entwistle reaffirmed this, presenting his company as a solution provider to which central banks and authorities can turn. There are 200 plus countries out there. There are a lot of central banks, and they have different needs, and they are different parts of this journey, Entwistle said. While some countries are well advanced, digital yuan in China and others, there are many emerging markets that are smaller, that have fewer resources, that have others issues where Ripple can help in an important part. In the context, Entwistle revealed that the fintech already dialogued with more than 20 central banks. So we're in a dialogue with not 10, not 20, but a bunch more central banks around the world on these discussions. The Ripple executive cited that already well-known projects like Bhutan and Palau as examples. And if you guys haven't seen it, I covered the other day one of the leaders from Palau discussing that CBDC in Palau should be ready in the next few months and scalable for the world. So one has to ask the question, Is it in fact, Palau, a test pilot for a retail digital dollar? We shall see. Then there is this. Susan Friedman shares a picture of the U.S. Capitol building. Looking forward to a productive day of meetings with Brad Garlinghouse and Stuart Alderati. Public and private engagements will always be key to good policy outcomes. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, this wild speculator is certainly speculating now. What could it mean? I don't know. But I tell you, is she just in town in D.C. taking a picture of the Capitol building, or is the meeting actually happening there about public-private engagement? And if it is, I couldn't be more excited to find out the outcome. Before we get out of here, ladies and gentlemen, XRP Crypto gives us this XRP monthly candle and fib circle, the 0.702 here. Monthly candle reveals the hidden last time XRP touched or tried to break the fib 0.702. It says got rejected heavily. However, the power of 3 or the third attempt is usually explosive. And if it does do and respond in that manner, XRP Crypto says it's easy to hit $2.45 off of such an explosion should we get one. So we will keep an eye out for that. That is for sure. Not financial advice from me, him, or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.